Hello, and welcome back to the run of Dark Souls 1, where I defeat the whole game at Soul Level 1 with nothing but the Broken Straight Sword. Now, in our last video, we defeated the Demon Fire Sage, Centipede Demon, and the Bed of Chaos down in Los Izalith to progress the game. We have now 2 of the 4 Lord Souls, which means we only need 2 more to finish the game, and in the DLC, we have 2 more bosses to finish. But after we defeated Artorias, I kind of mentioned that we were going on a bit of a villain arc, right? We use the glitch where Centipede Demon clips out of his own arena and dies for it to defeat Centipede, and that was, a light bit of trickery, right? Not too much worse than, say, how we beat Ceaseless Discharge, though. A little bit worse than that, it's a glitch, but, same concept, right? We're using fall damage to kill a boss that we don't want to have to swing at. But as we were doing that, I mentioned that, there's something worse, right? There are greater evils in the world. And throughout all of these intros, I've been hiding that evil from you. Even though I record them on different days, I've always been dropping this item here just to make sure it doesn't leak, right? That you don't know it's coming until it happens. And that item, my friends, is the Elizabeth Mushroom. So for those of you unaware, the Elizabeth Mushroom is a consumable item that greatly restores your HP for the duration that it's going. Essentially what this means is that for about 20 seconds, you're healing for about 100 HP a second. So it is a huge amount of healing, especially at level 1, where I have 573 HP. I'm basically healing a sixth of my HP a second. And so it is an enormous amount of healing, especially whenever certain attacks can not one-shot you, but they'll combo you into a one-shot. Now, the reason we care about these in particular is because far down below Firelink, if you're familiar, is New Londo, and in New Londo is a boss called the Four Kings. And the Four Kings is essentially designed as a DPS check, where the conventional strategy is to go in wearing your best, heaviest armor with your most damaging weapon, and you just poise through their attacks, heal when you need to, but just do a bunch of DPS to kill them. Because if you don't kill them quickly, the way the fight works is you come in and there's one king, and then one king becomes 2 and will become 3 and can even become 4 if you don't kill them quick enough. Now, normally, that's not such a huge deal because you have a good deal of health. Even if you're not doing enough damage to, say, only ever have one king active at a time, you can still heal, you've got some HP to buffer with, you're okay. Or alternatively, you just have enough damage that you're only ever facing one, and one king doesn't really do enough damage to kill you, usually. We can't do that. Given that we are level 1, we don't have enough health to actually tank when multiple kings are active. If they hit us twice in a row, we're basically dead, even in our best armor. So that's not an option. However, as you might imagine, damaging them isn't really a great option either. We have baby range. We have this poke, but it's super slow, so it's not really worth thinking about, so we have to get very close there with them. And we don't really deal that much damage with this. As you might imagine, it's a broken sword. And so the Four Kings have always proposed kind of a theoretical problem for us, which is, how do we beat them? And the answer to that is the Elizabeth Mushroom. Because if we're healing a bunch, we don't have to stop to use our Estus, our DPS will go up, and since we're healing passively, even if they hit us twice in a row, the passive healing of the Elizabeth Mushroom for the most part will keep us alive. You can still take a really unlucky double hit and die. It's not like you're immune to anything. However, it does help a lot. And the thing is that in total, that fight will take you round about 3 or 4 Elizabeth Mushrooms if it goes well. And in the game, there's only 3 or 4 Elizabeth Mushrooms actually available. You get 3 for defeating Artorias, and then another one later in the DLC. And that's the only way you can get an Elizabeth Mushroom, is through those 4. And so you have just enough to defeat the 4 Kings. However, that means if you fail to beat the 4 Kings, you now don't have enough mushrooms. And so without enough mushrooms, you kind of lose, right? You can go and fight them, you can roll the slot machine of hoping they don't double hit you, but doesn't really feel like a great idea, does it? And so we said, okay, rather than getting one attempt at the 4 Kings and then basically having to restart the entire run if we fail, decided we're allowed to item dupe the Elizabeth Mushrooms. That's why I have 52 of them. So we duped them for the use in 4 Kings. However, as I told you, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And faced with the, power of the infinite Elizabeth mushroom, the ability to just say, nah, I don't want to take damage right now. Or rather, I want to heal immediately from damage right now. Let me turn my HUD on so you can see. It's not like we're really in danger here. See? Like, don't wrong, these are little basic hollows, but they don't exactly have a chance, right? And so faced with that power, I used it on a bit more than just the Four Kings. Now, this is not going to be like we use it on every boss. That is not how this is going to function. However, as I run away from these these hollows just so they'll lay off, I did allow myself to use it on just a bit more than the Four Kings. Now, I didn't use it on every boss. For example, in the last video where we were going through Lost Izalith, I actually had access to the mushrooms then, and I was essentially trying not to use them because I knew they were powerful. And in this video, we'll be using them on Nito. Nito was kind of my first real test run of the mushrooms in the base game, just to see how they function there. And so I used the Elizabeth mushrooms on Nito, and we essentially see exactly how powerful they are. And after that, I returned to just using Estus in the base game. So we defeat Nito with the Elizabeth mushrooms, and then we're back to Estus for our remaining base game bosses for, well, pre-Gwyn and Four Kings of Sif, Priscilla, and Stray Demon. Once they're out of the way, we're basically in mushroom territory. I'm using them on Calamite, Manus, Four Kings, and Gwyn. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Four Kings, like I said, kind of a requirement. Calamite and Manus take about 20 or 30 minutes each for each successful attempt, even with the mushrooms. And so an Estus-based attempt basically would go for about 20 minutes, die, and then go again. And a successful attempt would be somewhere in the range of like 30 to 40 minutes. That's a lot of time to spend fighting one boss, and a lot of just, mental endurance, and also, frankly, stream time, right? Like, I want to do different things on stream. So I decided, you know what? We can use mushrooms here too. That's okay. And to be fair, the mushroom doesn't invalidate the Estus, and it doesn't make me immune to anything. Calamite can definitely still kill me. I died for hours on Calamite, even with the mushroom. And Manus has a combo that can still just kill you through the mushroom. Or especially, if he hits you with his grab attack before the mushroom, or rather, right before the mushroom runs out, so it runs out during the combo, you'll die to that combo. It's just simply a one-shot. It does, like, 800 or 900 damage, so it can very easily kill us regardless. So it doesn't make us immune. It does give us a huge amount of quality of life, though. As for Gwyn, it's the end of the run. I wanted to have a little fun. Who can blame me? Now, if this does make me the villain of your story, if this does ruin your enjoyment of the run, I apologize. I still defend it because, it's my quality of life. It's, my challenge run. If I want to have a little fun with it, I can have a little fun with it. But if you don't like it, that's totally fine. Though if you're going to complain about it, highly recommend you do this run. Don't get me wrong, I think Ornstein and Smo is definitely one of the hardest parts of the run. But Calamite and Manus are not slouches. Not by any means. And so if you want to try to defeat them without the Elizabeth mushrooms, by all means, go ahead and do so. But for my quality of life, it worked out pretty well. So, this video we just have Nito with the mushrooms, and then Sif without the mushrooms, and then we'll be without the mushrooms next video, and then after that, they're kind of back in full force. So with all that out of the way, timestamps are down in the description, and I hope you enjoy. Have fun. I'm gonna assume I need Havels to be able to run. No? Okay. What else is useful here? I mean, maybe we go like Blood Bite, because there's like some bleed on some of these enemies. And then we'll just Elizabeth Mushroom to the moon. This is why I was saying the Blood Bite Ring was going to be useful. We could definitely die at a, like, very inopportune, like, lack of Elizabeth Mushroom or bleed moment. Let's get away from that just to make sure we have space to mushroom. Yep. Because I knew a mushroom was not long for this world. Got about 15 seconds left on this one. Also, I didn't foresee that our range was going to be a problem with Nito. Because we do kind of just, like, not reach Nito most of the time. We need a mushroom. So we're probably gone. Yep. Toxic could be annoying, but we do just kind of out-heal it, so... Mushroom in 3, 2, 1, probably. A little bit more. Damn. Yep. Like I said, inopportune mushroom moment, he'll kill us. But yeah, that's easy. I don't know, we just run back. I think we just run back and go again, like, who cares? This doesn't feel like where I've been before. Yeah. And then all of this is just free. You just slip past it. No big deal. Thank you. I'll just slide past you. Alright, to be fair, the skeletons actually, like, woke up for work today. Last time they were just asleep at the wheel. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Take a little sip. Swap our inventory back around. Eat a little mushroom. I didn't realize Nito's cutscene plays every time. Mushroom probably wears off pretty quick. Thankfully, we got just enough healing out of it to not die. Yeah, the kick. Damn. I just wanted to build distance because I know our mushroom is about to wear off. But I guess this is fine. That's not so fine. Kaboom. It's annoying how quickly the skeletons get back up. Alright. He's about to explode again, so let's just go ahead and run. Because we need a mushroom. Okay, we can eat this one. I mean, that's a pretty convenient explosion for us, to be honest. Okay, good, he's exploding again. That'll give us a good mushroom chance. Because it's probably wearing off just about the time we get in. Yep. A little bit later than expected, but not bad. Okay. Probably need to mushroom in about 5 seconds or so. Alright, good. Another explosion, exactly what I want. Probably need to get out of that until the next explosion. Yep. I wasn't sure when our mushroom was going to wear off, and we took a bunch of big hits just beforehand. That would have been very bad. Yeah, like, this is free, as long as, like, I'm somewhat mindful of, my mushroom timer and the enemies. Like, I really need an explosion right now, or I just need to, like, get my mushroom back. Just for safety's sake. Alright. Nito, I would like to see an explosion. Okay. Just run away to make sure I can survive. Perfect. Alright, we're probably safe. Alright. Alright, so yeah, you know, you turn on the Elizabeth mushrooms, life changes a little bit. Alright, so round 3. Ow. Okay. It's weird. I like I really want to be up in Sif's face when I heal. It just feels like the safer place to be. Good counter hit. I hate to say it, we're gonna have to safety heal in a second, just because, like, I think the uppercut kills us right now because of all the little stomps we've taken. Like that attack. Because at full, that leaves us with a sliver. If I could hit this attack at all. Ow. Come on, Sif, we're about to get into the sad phase, and I'm gonna hate you. So let's just get this over with. Alright. Nope, no sad phase yet. Yep, here we are. Okay, sad face wasn't bad. She was very agreeable. I'm sorry, Sif. It is what it is.